If you're like me and you've got one of these and some of these, then you really need one of these. You've no doubt seen your electricity price going up over the last 3 years. It's not only the rising cost of buying the electricity from the provider that's causing this, but it's also the lowering of your feed-in tariff bonus from your solar panels that's creating a big problem. If you're like me, you've considered getting one of these. This is the Anker SOLIX X1. This very smart battery system, inverter and power dock is going to help me save heaps of money on power costs and become virtually self-sufficient. It's not only going to do that, but it's going to monitor the whole house as well. And that whole of home monitoring capability with the PowerDock Pro combined with the app on your phone has meant I've been easily able to find a fault that I didn't know I had that's been costing me a fortune. More on that later. So before you go buying a battery, have a look at this video and I'll go through some of the tricks and some of the traps with the installer and go through the main features of a battery that I think these days we should all be looking for. And this one's got the lot. Now, if you just install the X1 inverter and battery stack as a standalone, it provides essential backup to your home. That means that in the event of a power outage, things like fridges and lights will still function overnight. But if you're smart and you install the PowerDock Pro as well, it provides whole home backup and supports all appliances connected to your home system. That means pumps, the works. It's important to note that not every home battery system does this or has this capability. More on this in a minute. Now let's get to know the components of this system, and we'll start with the inverter that's sitting on top of my battery stack here. Now at the moment I've got 4 batteries connected to this one inverter, and that gives me a total of 20 kilowatt hours of storage, which is more than enough for me and my house. But you can connect up to 6 batteries to one inverter, giving you a total of 30 kilowatt hours of storage and total draw of 30 kilowatt hours from the one inverter. Bear in mind, you can only stack the batteries 5 high, so you do need to find some extra wall space if you want to go for the full 6 battery system. You can also connect several of these inverters together quite easily. They're built for it, and you can build a system anywhere up to 180 kilowatt hours if that's what you need. Next up, we've got the batteries, and the first thing that you'll notice about this system is that it's super slim. It's only 15 centimeters deep, plus an extra 2 centimeters for the hanging brackets, bringing it up to 17 centimeters projection into walkways, which means even in the slimmest of areas, this is not going to intrude. The batteries themselves are 665 wide, so they're also not very wide this way, meaning that a couple of stacks together won't take up a lot of real estate on your wall. A lot of power in a small package. And while we're on the subject of design, check out this display. It turns on when you come close to it and tells you everything you need to know about your battery system and your home power use, and nothing you don't. It's not overly complicated, it's easily readable during the daytime. With a minute or so's explanation, even your grandma and grandpa could use this. And they're tough too. With IP66 water and dust rating and C5M marine rating, these batteries will stay working in the harshest of conditions. And the C5M rating means that if you're one of those people that enjoys having a rusty car and lives right by the beach, you'll still get the full 10-year warranty on these battery systems, because they reckon they just won't corrode. Unlike some other options on the market, these batteries will withstand down to minus 20 degrees Celsius in the Alps, right up to 55 degrees Celsius in the centre of Australia, and they will still maintain 100% of their drawdown capacity. So if you've got 5 kilowatt hours, you can take 5 kilowatt hours. Something else that's important to know about these batteries is that they can only be stacked a maximum of 5 high. So although you can connect 6 batteries to the inverter, to get the 6 batteries in place, you're going to need 2 stacks of batteries with an inverter sitting on one of them. This will impact on where you choose to put the battery stack in your home. We've got more on that later on when we talk to the installer about the common mistakes people make when they're getting battery systems. So stick around for that one. It's worth its weight in gold. And yes, it's got the inevitable app. Everything's got an app these days, even your toaster. But it turns out the app for this power station is just as good as the display. It's simple, it's powerful, and it shows you exactly what you need to see and nothing you don't. There's no complicated menus, and it's already saved me money. Come and have a look. You see, it turns out that this bore pump's been costing me a lot more money than it should. The transformer to step down the power for the pump from mains has been running hot, and it's been using 1.1 kilowatts an hour. That's been adding hundreds of dollars to my power bill. And I found this in seconds with the app because the PowerDock Pro Gateway monitors not only the performance of the battery, but also the solar system and the home. So I get up to the second information on the app telling me when I turn a switch off and turn a switch on, how much power that circuit's been using. In the paddock. How good is that? With the price of power these days, you can't afford to have dodgy equipment anymore. So as well as saving me several $100s today, the app not only allows you to monitor your energy usage by the second, but it also allows by the day, the week, the month, and the year. Added to that, you can also manage your portable power systems from Anker through this same app. Now I've got something else to do on the toilet. And for those of you who still want to get on top of fossil fuel emissions, the Anker power plant is compatible with the virtual power plant grid that most Australian providers are now connected to. So your battery can act with other batteries on other houses as a replacement grid system, making the whole country a bit more sustainable. Now, if you're like me, you hope for the best but expect the worst. So when something goes wrong, it's important to know that the company you're dealing with is Australian based. There are battery companies going around and there are installers going around selling third-party batteries that have been directly imported from overseas with no local support. The warranties on those batteries are problematic because they only last as long as the retailer is in business. It's hard to chase a bankrupt business for a warranty claim. Anker have been based in Australia for years now, and they've got offices in Victoria and New South Wales, so you can get local English-speaking support, and you can also be assured that the warranty is actually real. Now, in terms of charging performance, I'm actually starting to become really in love with this battery. We've only had about 3 hours of sunlight today. The rest of the time has been overcast and the panels have been producing less than 1 kilowatt. At the moment, they're producing a bit more, and so far we've produced 5 kilowatt hours from the solar system over the last 4 hours, and it's taken the battery from 10 to 26% already with a baseline load on the house. So if you're like a lot of people and you work and you're not home during the day, this is going to give you free power pretty much all night, as long as you get the bore pump sorted out, which reminds me I haven't rung him yet. What do you mean there's no warranty? Now, my house is a little bit more complicated than some. You see, not only have I got multiple meters here, but I've also got very complex switchboards, and because I live in the state of Victoria, I've also got an external supply so I can plug a generator into the house and run the house on generator during our continued multiple power outages that we experience every year. Now, the real star of the show is in this little box here. Not only does this monitor your entire house and switch over automatically when there's a power outage, but it also allows what they call black start. That means your solar panels with this system will continue working when you're off grid. That's not the case with every battery on the market, and you need to be careful of that. My solar panels will work even when the grid goes down because of this. And even though I've got a very complex house with lots of different things, none of this had to be modified in order to hook up. It was literally just a few wires and a couple of minutes work to get the system working with the house. It was super easy. It's so well configured, it is literally plug and play. So look, I'm only a couple of days in, but I am genuinely impressed with this system. Not only is the aesthetic design and the thought that's gone into the guts of this, making it so easy and so fast to set up and so easy to use, but also that it's got really high quality design features that enable a 10-year warranty. Installation was super easy. Now, speaking of installers, I caught hold of Jacob just as he was trying to finish off the installation after a hard day. So you can imagine he was suitably impressed to have to do an interview, but we did one anyway because he's got some important messages for people considering any battery system. So now let's go back in time a day or so and have a chat to Jacob about what his do's and don'ts are for people when they're considering a battery for their house. Well, Jacob, mate, it's lovely to watch a master at work, and you are an A-grade electrician as well as a solar installer.
Yep.
You do a lot of systems like this. This is the first time you've installed the Anker one.
Yep.
But there's a lot of common misconceptions that people have with these, and you'd like to share with us some of those misconceptions now so that people don't get a nasty surprise when they're actually halfway through the install.
Yeah, correct. So major thing that we find as electricians coming to site and systems are sold to customers are to do with the backup side of things and the switchboards.
Well, let's go and have a look at the switchboard and find out what the problem is.
No problem. So the first thing as a customer that you want to have a look at is come to your switchboard. And this is what I mean about new style RCBOs, which is up to the current standard, and it's come in about 2 years ago compared to the old ones. So these ones here aren't a type A, and this is the unexpected cost, especially when you're doing full house backup, that we need to upgrade the board to bring it up to the current standard and pretty much go to every circuit in your house and upgrade these to the new type A's. Okay. So this board itself, because these are already on type A's, we would need to fit another 3 circuits here, and generally roughly it costs about $110 plus GST per circuit to do that. So this board itself would cost $330. Okay, and this premises has multiple switchboards as well. So if we come out to this board, another subboard here, this entire board will need to be upgraded to the new standard. So we've got 5 circuits here, and that would basically cost $550 plus GST. So we're already looking at $500, $600, $700, $800 plus dollars already before we've even started our installation.
Now, what do I have to look at on these switches to know whether or not they're going to need upgrading?
Yeah, so these ones here are a circuit breaker, where this is an RCD. Yep. Now, the current standard that we put in is an RCBO, which is both of these combined together.
Right.
And they generally have a little test button on them.
Yes.
So they have a little test button, and then there's also a little box on there that has 2 little lines and says type A.
Right. So unless the box has 2 lines and says type A,
yep,
it's not up to code anymore, and it needs to be replaced.
Correct.
Now, mate, the next surprise that people have, and this is a misconception I certainly had, is that just installing a battery with an inverter doesn't necessarily power the house when the power goes out.
No, that's correct. So a lot of the systems like this one itself, we can do full house backup.
Yep.
But it also does add the option of partial backup if you want to go down the track of not having your whole house on the backup. So this inverter here is a 6 kilowatt inverter that has about 30 amps of backup capability.
Right.
So you could probably run 2 power circuits and a light, so you can get essential circuits. You'll never get put in the dark.
Yep.
You'll be able to keep your fridge running and maybe your kitchen or something like that.
Yes.
Where paired with the Power Pro, we can do full house backup. So upgrade your circuits like we spoke about earlier, and it can run your whole house for days.
So people that get just the batteries and the inverter won't be able to back up their whole house and run their whole house for days. But if they get the what's this called, the Power Pro, they will be able to.
Correct. So if the power is to go out in the street, it will go into what we call an off-grid mode.
Yep.
And it will still run the solar system and charge the batteries and supply the house with the power out to the street.
So if I wanted a true off-grid system, I'd have to get the Power Pro as well.
That's correct. But with this setup, you have the option to do both at least.
So it is truly an off-grid system. And most people that have sold batteries are not sold an off-grid system unless they ask for it.
Yes, it's kind of one of those hidden messages that they presume that that's what they're getting, because there's obviously they do their own home research, but sometimes, mainly the inverters aren't capable of doing it.
Yep.
And sometimes it's a bit of an awkward conversation before the start of the install.
And last but not least, mate, we've got to talk about installation. You guys have done a pretty awesome job of this installation and it looks really neat and clean. But there's a few regulations that people need to know around where they actually put their battery. It's all very well that it's low profile and it's really small, but it's also got to be a certain distance away from windows. It's got to be on certain walls and not others.
Yep.
Tell me a little bit about that.
That's correct. So they've updated the regs a few years ago, and especially with how the batteries have gotten quite big in need and wants for everything.
Yeah.
So we firstly can't mount to flammable surfaces. So like today, we've had to put a cement sheet in on the weatherproof board.
Yep.
Then we come into fire ratings and windows. We've got to be 900 away from windows. If there is a habitable room behind there.
So a bedroom,
any room that you spend, they've changed the reg on this too. It used to be anything that's not a toilet or a bathroom or a laundry is a habitable room. So we've got to stay away from opening windows, vents that go under floors, all that kind of thing. Once it's a habitable room, regs do come down a little bit easier if it's not.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a really big point on how hard it is to put a battery in now, and there's very specific locations that we can do so.
You bought a battery, you've invested a lot of money in the battery, you've gone through the whole process of getting it, installation date. What should you be looking for from your installer, and what should you make sure that you've got ready for your installer before they?
Yes, not all customers are obviously going to be aware of where you can and can't, so it's still got to be an open conversation.
Yeah.
But a general idea of where you would like the battery, somewhere that's nice and shady, not in the sun, and pretty much with quite a lot of space and not got hot water services or air cons or anything squished near it. Yeah. We also need to stay away from those things.
Yeah, okay. So no other big electrical appliances nearby.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Well, Jacob, thank you so much for your time, mate.
No problem.
You've been fantastic on the install. You've been fantastic with the advice. And if you guys know anyone who's chasing a battery and they haven't checked out the latest regs and they didn't know about whether or not they can be true off grid or not, send them this video. And if you like this kind of information, don't forget, hit the little subscribe button down there. That's how you support the channel for free and get the word out. And if you're interested in this amazing battery, check the link in the description below. Now, I don't know about you, but I got a lot of mail in the letterbox before May 1st, 2026 saying I had to sign up for a battery now, the rebates are going right down, get in quick. And then I had people trying to sell me 10 kilowatt hour batteries, which are just basically not sufficient for my needs. It's a really murky area. The rebates have gone down a little bit and they will continue to go down a little bit a couple of times every year. So the longer you wait, yes, the less rebate you'll get. But let's put it into perspective here. I'm still getting 100% of the rebate on the first 14 kilowatt hours of this battery, and I'm only getting 60% of the rebate on the remaining 6 kilowatt hours of this battery. But I'm still ahead in terms of the power that I'm using. So you can check the link below to see what the rebates are doing in your area at the moment. But don't be rushed into making a decision on a battery. Yes, you'll be better off if you get one before January next year. But for solar systems of 28 kilowatt hours and less, the rebates are still pretty healthy. So I would suggest getting the battery that suits your needs and suits the size of home that you have, rather than being pressured into a small size battery that's not going to fit your needs just based on rebates, which fluctuate and change all the time anyway. Now remember, I'm just a YouTuber. This is not financial advice. This is just my reading of the current legislation around solar batteries. Do your own research. There is a link in the description below to allow you to do that. So mate, we've also got to give a shout out to an ex-colleague of yours. What's his name?
Oh, Caleb Stivey.
Caleb Stivey.
He's taught me everything I know behind the camera.
Well, he's never going to be as good as you,
No,
mate.
he's not, but I taught him everything he knows, so.
Best of luck, Caleb.